Good day everybody, welcome back or welcome to It's a Small Vlog, and I am finally back. I apologize that I took kind of a 3-week hiatus basically from not making content, and the most recent content that I have been producing, if you've been keeping up with the channel, I've been over at not Walt Disney World. I've been over at Universal Studios, over at their new park, Epic Universe, but I am finally back here at Walt Disney World, ready to vlog. I have a ton of new videos planned as spring ends and we head into the summer season, and this first video that I've been wanting to do has been on my mind for quite some time now, and it's just been getting delayed, and now I'm finally here doing it. As you can see, I'm here at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campgrounds because today, if you've watched my November video, I was here. We were talking about all the construction going on here in the Magic Kingdom Resort area, and basically this video is going to be the exact same thing. We're going to be talking about the construction going on here at Fort Wilderness. We're going to head on over to the Grand Floridian and talk about some brand new construction going on over there, and then we're also going to head on over to the Yacht and Beach Club and the Boardwalk in the Epcot Resort area to talk about some stuff going on over there. Again, this is going to be your Walt Disney World Resorts construction update. There will be timestamps down below in the description so you can follow along, fast forward, rewind, skip ahead, skip back, whatever you need to do. Again, the timestamps are always there for your convenience, especially during these big construction videos. And again, we're starting here at Fort Wilderness because yeah, I think the structure probably speaks for itself. We have a lot to talk about over here at Fort Wilderness, so I don't want to delay much longer. Let's get straight into today's video. Starting off today's video is something I haven't covered in quite some time, with that being the major construction happening right here along the shores of Bay Lake at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campgrounds. Ever since my last update here all the way back in November, we've received not only some new details by Disney about the work that's going on, but we've also seen a ton of visual progress occur as well. In fact, you may recall from my last video here when I first began covering the construction that not even Disney had publicly announced what was going on. I mentioned that the former Reflections project seemed to be back from the dead, and sure enough, just a few weeks later, Disney officially put the rumor to rest and confirmed that the project was back on track after years of just sitting in dormancy. Now, as with any revitalized project, some changes are bound to occur, and one of the most important ones has to do with the name of this new resort. The project that was once called Reflections, a Disney Lakeside Lodge, has since been renamed to Disney's Lakeshore Lodge, simplifying the name ever so slightly. But what's interesting is that even with the name change being made public a few months ago, Disney has not released any new pieces of concept art for the resort, leading many to believe that Disney will still theme the resort from the original concept art back in 2018. This was actually something I originally speculated a few months back, considering the insane amount of concept art that's already been leaked, so it didn't seem to make much sense for Disney to change their direction. Now, I'm going to come back to talking about a few more details that Disney has also shared with us in just a second, but really quick first, I want to talk about all of the visual construction progress that we've seen happen in just the past 6 months, because in case it weren't obvious enough, construction has absolutely accelerated here at the Lakeshore Lodge construction site. Since my first time covering the construction of this resort back in early November, most of the visual work we originally saw happening was simply just a lot of low-level site preparation, land clearing, and infrastructural work. But now, fast forward about 6 months later, and multiple new cranes have towered over the construction site as things go vertical. According to the concept art, it looks like Lakeshore Lodge is planned to be about 10 stories tall, give or take, and at the time of filming this, crews are about halfway done height-wise. It looks like most of the work has been done on the eastern side of the hotel, with construction crews well underway on what appears to be the 5th floor. From this up-close perspective, not only is the hotel continuing to grow vertically, but we're also starting to see some of the outlines of the guest rooms that will overlook Bay Lake. If you look closely, you can even spot the first bits of sheathing as Disney starts to enclose some of the rooms. If we shift our view and look towards the shores of Bay Lake, you'll notice that groundwork has begun for what is most likely the future home of the lakefront cabins that will populate what is currently Clementine Beach. According to permits, the waterfront cabins will be located northeast and southwest of the main resort structure and will likely be similar to the Copper Creek cabins at the neighboring Wilderness Lodge nearby. You can get a good look at some of the early infrastructure work going on from the Fort Wilderness boat launch area, and considering how close the construction is getting to Pioneer Hall and just how much of the beach is now closed off, it's expected that some updates to the dock itself are bound to happen sometime in the near future. But that seems to be everything we can see visually happening at this massive construction site. And while I am excited to eventually experience a brand new hotel here in the Magic Kingdom Resort area, I am a little concerned with just how imposing this resort is going to be on the existing Fort Wilderness. Part of what makes Fort Wilderness so charming and nostalgic is its rustic theme and its secluded location away from everything else. But Lakeshore Lodge completely changes that. Not only is the resort taking on a more modern approach to the overarching nature theme that both Fort Wilderness and Wilderness Lodge share, but both its size and scale is so incredibly massive. Unlike the Island Tower over at the Polynesian, just the sheer size of Lakeshore Lodge alone qualifies it to be classified as its own standalone hotel and not an extension of the already existing Fort Wilderness. So I actually have no issue with the modern theming. My concern comes from its proximity to the very rustic Pioneer Hall, which is arguably the heart of Fort Wilderness. Construction on Lakeshore Lodge hasn't even reached its highest point yet, and the structure is already incredibly imposing. With a clashing modern theme also on the horizon, there's no doubt that once the resort opens, Fort Wilderness will never be the same again. In speaking of opening, one final detail that Disney shared with us is that Lakeshore Lodge will officially open sometime in 2027, giving Disney about 2.5 years total for construction. Now, what's interesting is that a 2027 opening timeframe comes as no surprise. As I mentioned in my last video, that all of the construction permits associated with the project had an expiration date of March 31st, 2027. So even though Disney hasn't given us anything past an opening year, a spring 2027 opening date seems likely. But that's the latest happening here at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campgrounds as work continues to progress quickly and efficiently on Disney's Lakeshore Lodge. And I'd love to hear your thoughts regarding this project in the comments below. Well, everyone, now that we are done with Fort Wilderness, we're going to stay within the Magic Kingdom Resort area, but instead of being along the shores of Bay Lake, we are now here along the shores of the Seven Seas Lagoon over here at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, Walt Disney World's flagship resort, the most luxurious and most expensive Disney resort here at Walt Disney World. And what we have to talk about today actually doesn't have to do with anything construction-wise on the outside of the resort, but has to do with the resort's main lobby on the inside. So let's head on in. Here inside the walls of Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, and you'll notice that there are plenty of construction walls present as Disney begins quote-unquote updating the resort's lobby. Back in March, Disney officially announced their plans to renovate the lobby of the Grand Floridian, something that has been a long-standing rumor for a couple of years now, and work is finally underway. Slated to last through the month of November, Disney stated that work would take place in phases and include both the lobby and convention center. For context, the Grand Floridian has been receiving a lot of new visual refurbishments in the past couple of years, and work being done on the rooms, restaurants, and even the gift shops are just a few of them. But now the lobby is the biggest and final refurbishment that the resort will be receiving. Alongside this announcement, Disney recently shared the singular piece of concept art that depicts what the new lobby will look like once it's completed, with the biggest and most noticeable change being the iconic bird cage being transformed into a new lobby bar. Quote, inspired by the lobby's iconic birdcage, the bar will pay tribute to the resort's Victorian roots with intricate woodwork, stained glass, and brass accents. Visitors may even spot colorful birds in the stained glass and murals throughout the atrium. Opposite the bar, guests will find the Victorian cage-style elevator that fans know and love. End quote. According to Disney, the resort's new lobby will feature a new look with the same grand feel the hotel has been known for since day one. As far as other details go, quote, the surrounding lobby, staircase, and front desk will be refreshed with a mix of botanical accents and inviting colors to create an airy, garden-like atmosphere. As shown in the new rendering, the lobby will feature beautiful new carpeting with Victorian-inspired borders and scrollwork featuring hand-drawn florals inspired by turn-of-the-century botanical studies. Updated furnishings will blend rich finishes and brass accents with cozy, welcoming fabrics, plus a few playful touches inspired by Florida's natural beauty and Victorian decorating trends. Walt Disney Imagineering is approaching this refurbishment with great care and focus in maintaining the heart and story of the Grand Floridian, while adding fresh new life to the lobby for guests to enjoy. End quote. As far as visual work goes, there's actually been quite a bit happening in just the short amount of time that this reimagining has been taking place. In just the past few weeks, walls have gone up surrounding the former birdcage, which has since been removed, and in other places as well, including the main check-in desk and the garden view tea room in the back. Despite the construction walls, a majority of the lobby still remains open to guests, and full access to the second floor also remains available as well. The views from the second floor of the lobby make capturing the construction very easy, and I don't think the second floor will be impacted by any closures during this refurbishment. As far as operations go, resort check-in has been moved into the seating area with more casual cast member interactions now in place as they assist guests. It's unclear how long the resort operations will remain like this, but it all completely depends on how much of a priority it is on Disney's end to get the main check-in desk back in action. It stands to reason that the new bar is most likely what will take Disney the longest construction-wise, but it's still too early to say for sure. But that seems to be everything happening so far with the Grand Floridian lobby reimagining, and I want to save my thoughts on it until the end of the video. All I'll say for now is that there's been quite a bit of controversy surrounding this lobby refresh, and if you'd like to hear some of my commentary, be sure to stick around until the end of the video. Well, that is going to wrap up my time here at the Grand Floridian, but we are not done just yet. We're actually going to hop on over from the Magic Kingdom Resort area over to the Epcot Resort area to another beachy seaside themed resort or resorts. We're going to head on over to the Yacht and Beach Club and Disney's Boardwalk Inn. So I'll see you guys over there. Hello everybody, welcome to the Epcot Resort area, and more specifically, welcome to the Yacht and Beach Club. Now, the rest of this video is mostly going to be over at the Boardwalk. There's a lot more happening over there, but there are a few minor things happening here at the Yacht and Beach Club that I'm just going to talk about super duper quickly. So for those of you who don't know, the Yacht and Beach Club actually turns 35 years old this November. So a lot of the work that's currently happening here is just quality of life updates. So Disney is currently wrapping up with quite the lengthy refurbishment over at the Stormalong Bay pool area. They're also doing some exterior repainting and some new roofing, it looks like, as well on both the Yacht Club and the Beach Club side. More of an emphasis on the Yacht Club side. There's a lot more scaffolding up on there. I think the Beach Club side is mostly finished, but the Yacht Club is, for the most part, still very much under construction when it comes to the repainting and the new roofing. There's a few walls up as well that you'll notice while traversing the area. But again, a lot of just quality of life stuff that they're doing. It's great to see this kind of work happen. This is the kind of stuff that I like Disney to invest their money in. So it's nice to see them do some of this and give the Yacht and Beach Club some love. These are two great resorts. I love them dearly. I just wanted to quickly touch up upon what's going on over here, but now we're going to head on over to the Boardwalk and discuss all of the much more lengthy updates happening over there. Well, everybody, I've officially made it over here to the Boardwalk, and right behind me we have the now shuttered Jelly Rolls Dueling Piano Bar. Unfortunately, I was never able to go inside. I'm not 21 yet. But right next to it, we have the still operational Atlantic Dance Hall. I don't think this is going to be lasting for much longer. I think it's probably going to end up in the same vein as Jelly Rolls, but it's just kind of weird to see that this entire side of the Boardwalk is kind of dead. And I'll show you guys around a little bit more, but Jelly Rolls closing is just one of the most recent things of many things to close here at the Boardwalk, and I'm gonna talk about that in just a second. I want to show you guys around a little bit, talk about some other things that are happening here. Right here in front of us, we have the former site of Big River Brewing Works, which closed in January of 2024, if you can believe it. And as you can see, it is just sitting here abandoned, and we have no idea what is going to replace it. So I'm worried that the same thing's gonna happen with Jelly Rolls, but hopefully I'm proved wrong. As far as merchandise goes, you know, the Screen Door General Store and Thimbles and Threads is the main merchandise place here at the Boardwalk. Screen Door General Store actually just got done with a little refurbishment. I recorded a little bit inside. Thimbles and Threads, as you can see, is still closed according to permits that were filed back in January. This should be done, I believe, sometime this month, in the month of May. It's probably going to follow in the same style as Screen Door General Store did as well. One thing I found very interesting is that last summer, Mickey Mouse Mercantile over at the Grand Floridian received a refurbishment, and it received like this kind of weird, like very floral, minty green color scheme and palette. I don't really have that much of an issue with it, but I noticed that inside of Screen Door General Store, you can find the same coat of minty green that they used for the Grand Floridian. So I don't know if they're just two, you know, beach-related resorts. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, but I thought that was an interesting similarity, something that seems to be shared with the renovations happening at the Boardwalk and the Grand Floridian. Again, they are beach themed and seaside themed, and they're both deluxe Disney resorts, but I thought the minty green color palette was a little interesting. I don't have that much of an issue with it. It's a little generic. I don't think it fits that great over at the Grand Floridian. I think it fits a little bit better here, but just thought that was something a little interesting. It's just crazy now that with Big River closed and Jelly Rolls now closed, this side of the Boardwalk is just absolutely dead, and it's decimated. I have a feeling that Atlantic Dance Hall is probably going to be on the way out sometime very, very, very soon, but it's just crazy. Like, the left side of the Boardwalk closer to Epcot, you know, that's bustling with activity, I guess is the phrase to use. But over here on the right side, man, there is just nothing happening over here, which is kind of sad, you know? All we really have is the Atlantic Dance Hall, which again is probably going to be on its way out sometime soon, and then the gift shop. All right, everybody. Well, now that I've kind of discussed everything happening here at the Yacht and Beach Club and the Boardwalk, I do want to take a minute to just kind of give my unscripted thoughts on everything happening, not just happening here, but also including the Grand Floridian and even Lakeshore Lodge. So, starting here at the Boardwalk, right, there have been a lot of things happening here at the Boardwalk. For me, I mean, so far the biggest change has been closing NBC Sports Grill for the cake bake shop, but there's been a lot of other things that have closed recently. Big River has closed over a year ago, and Jelly Roll was just closed down about 2 weeks ago at the time that I'm recording this. And I just feel like that's fine to close things. I have no issue with that. I'm always open to things changing and updating things, but Big River has been closed for a year and a half now, and we still have no idea what is going there. Jelly Rolls, now closed down, we have no idea what's replacing it. So again, I'm fine with things closing, but tell me what's gonna come after it, right, Disney? Like, I just feel like the Boardwalk is kind of having a bit of an identity crisis, right? Because I hate to say it, Atlantic Dance Hall is not going to be lasting much longer. It's probably going to end up in the same vein as Jelly Rolls, right? NBC Sports Grill, that's been closed for quite some time now, and I never had any special attachment to it, but the cake bake shop, you know, it's pretty, it's nice, but in the grand scheme of things, is that really turn of the century Boardwalk? Like, is that really what the theme of the cake bake shop is? Because in all honesty, not really. So I just feel like the Boardwalk is having a little bit of an identity crisis right now. Again, I'm fine with things closing, but tell me what is going to replace them, and make sure that what those replacements are stay true to the theme and the identity of Disney's Boardwalk Inn, right? Because this resort is so incredibly unique, right? You can say what you want about all the other Disney resorts, but the Boardwalk has got to be the most unique Disney resort out there. I mean, it really is. It is something really, really special. And for every single Disney resort, I just think it deserves the absolute best. So that's my 2 cents on the Boardwalk. As far as the Grand Floridian lobby goes, I will say this. Based on what I've seen in the concept art, for the time being, I think I'm actually okay with it. Now, I'm going to reserve all of my judgment for when it, you know, actually finishes, when the project is actually done in November. I do have a bit of skepticism, but for the most part, I do feel like the updated lobby kind of stays true to the original. I mean, I think the lobby bar is very unnecessary. I don't think that we need it. I appreciate that it is being inspired by the iconic birdcage, and again, theming wise, I think it looks all right, but again, I'm gonna reserve all judgment for when it is actually finished. And Lakeshore Lodge, I pretty much gave you guys my full 2 cents on that. I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be beautiful. I'm just a little concerned at how big it is and how imposing it is on the current Fort Wilderness. Again, Fort Wilderness is an original Walt Disney World resort, and part of what makes it so incredibly unique and charming is its rustic, secluded theme. It's just tucked away from everything else, and that's what makes it so incredibly cool. But now you're gonna have this giant modern nature hotel right next to it, and like I feel like it's just gonna kind of lose some of its charm a little bit. I hope I'm wrong, and again, I'm gonna reserve all judgment for when the resort opens in 2027, but it's not even at its highest point yet, and it's already so imposing. So those are all my thoughts, unscripted, honest, just for you guys. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. Well, everybody, that is going to wrap up this video here at the Walt Disney World resorts, including Fort Wilderness, the Grand Floridian, and of course the Yacht and Beach Club and the Boardwalk here in the Epcot resort area. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. It was nice to be back here at Walt Disney World vlogging. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about everything going on. How do you feel about the Lakeshore Lodge construction over at Fort Wilderness? How do you feel about the renovation happening at the Grand Floridian? And even what's going on here at the Boardwalk, if you can even say that there's stuff going on, because it just feels like Disney's been closing a bunch of things for no good reason. But if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, turn those notifications on. Check me out on Instagram as well. The link is down below. Also, be sure to check out the It's a Small Blog website. The link to that is in my Instagram bio and will also be in the link down below. But my name is Bobby. This has been It's a Small Vlog here at the Walt Disney World resorts in the Magic Kingdom and Epcot resort areas. And with all that out of the way, have a magical day, everybody. Bye.